After two back-to-back races at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria, it's time for something different. Welcome to the Hungarian Grand Prix in Budapest at the Hungaroring. It's the final of the first leg of triple headers, and after this we have a week's break before going off for two races at Silverstone, the British Grand Prix and the 70th anniversary Grand Prix, followed by the Spanish Grand Prix on the 14th to the 16th of August. A week's break before the Belgian Grand Prix, the Italian Grand Prix, and then the Tuscany Grand Prix on the 11th to the 13th of September, and then a week's break before the last round currently confirmed, the Russian Grand Prix. In the Drivers' Championship, Valtteri Bottas leads the way, 43 points to his name. Lewis Hamilton is second on 37, Lando Norris, best of the rest, in third place on 26, Charles Leclerc is on 18, Sergio Perez 16, Max Verstappen 15, 13 for Carlos Sainz, 12 for Alexander Albon, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll 9th and 10th on 6 points. Esteban Ocon is in 11th on 4, the same as his teammate Daniel Ricciardo. Then Antonio Giovinazzi is 13th on 2 points. Danny Kvyat has 1, the same as Sebastian Vettel. No points currently on the board for Nicholas Latifi, Kimi Raikkonen, Kevin Magnussen, Romain Grosjean or George Russell. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes lead the way on 80 points. They are 41 clear of McLaren in second. Red Bull are third on 27 points after their first points last time out. Racing Point are fourth on 22, but are currently under investigation for the legality of their car, so have an asterisk next to their name. Ferrari still on 19 points. No points scored though at the Styrian Grand Prix a week ago. 8 points the board for Renault, 7 for AlphaTauri, 2 for Alfa Romeo, and no points on the board for Williams or Haas. Hello everybody and welcome to the Grand Review podcast for the 2020 Hungarian Grand Prix, the third round of the season. And it all started pretty well. Two exciting races in Austria and the Styrian Grand Prix. Bottas won one, Hamilton won the next. The title fight was revving up as we came to Hungary. Lewis Hamilton, a circuit he loves, going to win for the 8th time here. Now, what would happen on Friday? Well, let's take a look at what happened in the first practice review. So let's get on then to the first practice review, and it was an interesting session. A few spots of rain played havoc around halfway through, but drivers came back onto the track to learn as much as they could in mixed conditions, as that is what it looks to be like for the race. Lewis Hamilton topped the time. She's a 1:16.003 for most of the session. Valtteri Bottas was second. The two Racing Points, third and fourth, with Perez of Stroll and Daniel Ricciardo, surprising everyone, putting it into P5. Bottas early on with the medium tyres, he was second or slower. Hamilton was on the harder compound as well, which surprised everybody that he was able to set the fastest time on the hardest tyres. For Racing Point as well, P3 and P4, Perez used all soft tyres, same as his teammate Joel. 4 tenths was the gap between them as well, but it was a good session for Racing Point as they run under an asterisk in the Constructors' Championship with their protest, with Renault protesting the team whether or not it can actually be legal, their car. It's basically a copy of last year's Mercedes. Daniel Ricciardo, coincidentally for Renault, topped out the top 5 as well on a 1:17.233. Sebastian Vettel was 6th for Ferrari, his teammate just behind him as well by 2 tenths of a second. They look to be improving up the order. Of course, this time they've got those other 2 updates. Let's hope Ferrari have a better weekend than they did last weekend. Max Verstappen as well, P8, and Nicholas Latifi, P9 as well. Very good session for Williams. They've proven that they can hold up their end of the bargain that they showed last weekend in Hungary in mixed conditions. In Styria in mixed conditions here in Hungary. The top 10 rounded out by Lando Norris and Esteban Ocon as well. Rain, as I said, hit before halfway, brought the cars into the pit lane, then it went out again as well. Romain Grosjean, the first to come back on the track, he eventually set the 14th quickest time as well. Hamilton went round on the mediums, just trying to get some temperature in the tyres and see what it was. Couldn't improve on his best time though. The track was too damp for that. Kevin Magnussen was also good as well, up in the order for the other Haas. Carlos Sainz and the McLaren finished just outside the top 10 as well. Alexander Albon struggled, 13th in the first session. Williams as well, they've confirmed Nicholas Latifi and George Russell for 2021. Latifi 15th overall after running 9th, and Russell 18th. Robert Kubica was in for Kimi Raikkonen at the Alfa Romeo. He finished 3.147, so off the pace in 17th, and Giovinazzi just behind. 16th was Kvyat, with Pierre Gasly just behind him as well. And FP1 would prove to be the only dry running we got all day. So the teams had to go out, and luckily they did. They've learned enough going forward to qualifying the race. Let's take a look there at the times from FP1. So Lewis Hamilton topped the first practice session at 1:16.003. Valtteri Bottas, his teammate, was second at 1:16.089. Sergio Perez is third at 1:16.530. Lance Stroll fourth at 1:16.967. Danny Ricciardo fifth at 1:17.2. Sebastian Vettel in sixth at 1:17.238. Charles Leclerc is seventh at 1:17.404. That's then followed by Max Verstappen in eighth on a 1:17.435. Lando Norris ninth at 1:17.523. And Esteban Ocon rounds out the top 10 at 1:17.615. Carlos Sainz is 11th on a 1:17.675. That's followed by Kevin Magnussen in 12th at 1:17.713. Alexander Albon 13th on a 1:17.727. Romain Grosjean 14th at 1:17.890. Nicholas Latifi 15th on a 1:17.969. Danny Kvyat 16th on a 1:18.292. Then we get Antonio Giovinazzi in 17th on a 1:18.425. George Russell 18th on a 1:18.574. And Robbie Kubica 19th at 1:19.150. Pierre Gasly not setting any time in that session, and therefore is 20th. Rain, rain, go away. It seemed to be the situation in first practice. Second practice, though, we knew could be a washout. Let's see what happened in free practice 2. Free practice 2 was an absolute washout. I was falling asleep in the commentary box. No driver went out for about 40 minutes, and even then only 13 of them set official lap times, but they were way off the pace. Vettel was top at 1:40.464 from Bottas, Sainz, Stroll and Perez rounding out the top 5. Perez had an off-track excursion at one point as well, but the session was absolutely useless. Way too wet for any running, and unfortunately with the tyres not being able to be used so much because it's predicted a wet qualifying and a wet race, they couldn't go out and check. They had to save their compounds. It was very, very annoying. They should give the teams more wets and intermediates so we get this running as well. An interesting point being mentioned as well was that maybe they should have daily sets, so a number of each tyre on for Friday, Saturday and Sunday, not all in one, so that we get more running. I like that. Give us that. Give us a daily tyre allowance so that we can get some running. It would be brilliant. So, nothing much happened in the second session. Changeable weather forecast going into FP3. Let's take a look at what they were for the times for free practice 2. Sebastian Vettel tops the second practice session at 1:40.464. We then get Valtteri Bottas in second at 1:47.36. Carlos Sainz is third at 1:41.784. Lance Stroll in fourth at 1:42.380. Sergio Perez fifth at 1:42.470. Then we get Pierre Gasly sixth on a 1:42.588. Max Verstappen seventh at 1:42.820. Romain Grosjean eighth at 1:43.335. Kimi Raikkonen ninth at 1:43.471. Charles Leclerc runs at the top 10 on a 1:43.725. Then we get Antonio Giovinazzi 11th at 1:44.411. Lando Norris is 12th at 1:46 dead. And then we get Danny Kvyat 13th on a 1:47.422. No times on the board, but then it's Esteban Ocon, Danny Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Nicholas Latifi, George Russell, Alexander Albon and Kevin Magnussen. All based on the sector times. Saturday, and a whole new different set of conditions, and hopefully we're seeing some dry times finally. Let's see what happened in the third practice session for the Hungarian Grand Prix. The session has literally just ended, so much so it's the live timing page that we are using for this review because I've got no notes prepared, so literally going to take you through it driver by driver. Apologies if you could just hear my watch going off. So let's start off then with Valtteri Bottas for the free practice 3 report, topping the session not by much, only 0.04 of a second to him and Lewis Hamilton, so that is pretty much close stuff as well. So Hamilton and Bottas going to be top 2. Perez on the other hand looks very much comfortable. He was surprisingly in third place for Racing Point. It could be a pole position for them if Mercedes faltered. That's how good they're looking. Leclerc 4th, big improvement improvements to that Ferrari this weekend. He's looking good. Stroll in 5th place, there or thereabouts. Verstappen 6th. Now, Red Bull had some major changes to the car this morning. They broke the curfew. They came in early and did major setup changes on both Verstappen and Albon's car. It looks to be working, but Verstappen in that session also had a spin coming down in towards turn 12 at the exit. Had a little spin and wrecked his lap. Albon also having a spin because the Latifi also spinning at the same corner later on. Following that, Lando Norris in 7th place. Good session for him. Smooth, calm, collected. That McLaren looking very much compacted and controlled downwards for the downforce. Then we get Vettel in 8th place, lingering at the back of the top 10. Improvements there. Gasly, P9 and Ricciardo round out the top 10. Then we get Sainz again, more work to do if he's going to get through to qualifying 3. Albon, biggest downwards as well. He's not had a great session with the setup change, complaining a lot with low power and vibrations on the car and on the radio. Ocon 13th as well. Russell 14th, a great session for him. He's looking to get into Q2 for the second week in a row. Grosjean 15th and Magnussen 16th. Expect them to be eliminated in the first session. Kvyat 17th. He's going to do better, I know it. Giovinazzi and Raikkonen, they're struggling to get out as well. 18th and 19th of Latifi in 20th as well. A lot of running in this session as well. All the teams needed to get the times on after losing free practice 2. It looks to be a dry qualifying to begin with, but the rain could come in. So let's take a quick look though at the results from FP3. Valtteri Bottas stops his third practice session at 1:15.437. Lewis Hamilton second at 1:15.479. Sergio Perez goes third at 1:15.598. Then it's Charles Leclerc fourth at 1:15.781. Lance Stroll is fifth on a 1:16.033. Then we get Max Verstappen in sixth place on a 1:16.084. Lando Norris is 7th at 1:16.193. Then we get Sebastian Vettel in 8th at 1:16.351. Pierre Gasly 9th at 1:16.453. Daniel Ricciardo rounds out the top 10 at 1:16.508. Carlos Sainz 11th on a 1:16.545. Alexander Albon 12th at 1:16.581. Esteban Ocon 13th on a 1:16.706. George Russell surprising everyone in 14th at 1:16.847. 15th for Romain Grosjean on 1:16.866. Then we get Kevin Magnussen 16th at 1:17.086. 17th for Danny Kvyat on a 1:17.292. Antonio Giovinazzi is 18th at 1:17.496. Kimi Raikkonen 19th at 1:17.527. And Nicholas Latifi rounding out the grid 20th at 1:17.650. Qualifying is always an exciting time, but going into an uncertain Grand Prix where we know it might be wet at the start leads everyone to think, what tyres are you going to run on? The Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying was certainly dramatic. Your commentator is Joshua Birch. Here are the highlights from qualifying.
Qualifying 1.
We move away from the Styrian Hills in Austria to the absolute delight of Budapest. Welcome to the round 3 of the 2020 Formula 1 season, the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring. Rain is coming in to the Hungarian Grand Prix circuit as qualifying 1 begins. The green light is on. 18 minutes and 20 cars. And with a 90% chance of rain on the horizon in the next 5 minutes, we're being told by the FIA, all the drivers are keen to make it out onto the track and get some banker laps in. I've never seen the timing screens light up there. They are. It's like a Christmas tree. Lights have just been switched on. Verstappen has got the clearer advantage. He's out first from Hamilton, Bottas, Albon, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Leclerc, Perez, Vettel, Russell, Norris, Sainz, Grosjean, Magnussen. Then we get the Latifi going out as well, followed by Danny Kvyat. They're all heading out onto the circuit. No sign of Gasly, Ricciardo, Ocon or Raikkonen yet. Those clouds above are going to drop at any moment, and we are now in a waiting game to see if we do get either a delayed qualifying 2 or 3, or whether the grid will be made up from the results of qualifying 1. George Russell into the last corner. He is 6/10 quicker in the middle sector to Alexander Albon. Is this good enough to put him into Q2? Is it ever? Third place for George Russell in the Williams. 1:15. My goodness, that has shocked everybody in the paddock. Third place for Russell at the moment. He goes from 16th to 3rd in a click. He's 2/10 off of Bottas. qualifying, and Latifi goes into 7th. 1:16.105. Williams have found a party mode as Perez goes top for Racing Point. 1:14.681. That is a stellar lap time from Williams. They've certainly pulled out their punches, haven't they? Here comes Gasly. 1:15. He goes into 6th place at the moment. That is amazing. 2 minutes to go in this dramatic first part of qualifying. Sergio Perez is top at 1:14.681. Lance Stroll is second. Hamilton third. Bottas fourth. And Russell surprising everybody in 5th place, saying over the radio, that's a lap. Gasly 6th. Leclerc 7th. Nicholas Latifi is 8th. He's qualified to the back in both these Grand Prix so far. Then it's Ricciardo and Verstappen rounding out the top 10. No, and Vettel locks up into turn 1 on his last lap, and he's 13th at the moment. That's a big problem. Then we get, after the top 10 of Verstappen, Norris, Sainz, Vettel, Kvyat, Ocon in the drop zone, and the drivers at risk are Grosjean, Albon, Raikkonen, Magnussen and Giovinazzi. Times have got to improve. Times have got to come down. Vettel 4/10 off the pace at the moment to even get nearer Perez, and that is not going to improve him. It might put him, looking at it, ahead of Gasly in 6th, but he's losing time every part of the track. Albon looking good. He could spoil Ocon, and he could spoil Vettel if Vettel makes a mistake. This looks to be the last lap that Vettel will have. I don't think those tyres are going to hold up for another lap, not with a flat spot. And he's 7/10 off now, is Vettel. Really coming down. Really bad now. Albon is 4/10 quicker than Ocon. He looks good. That's Verstappen backing up to try and get out of the way. He wants one more run. Here comes Vettel then. Leclerc crosses the line to start a lap. Here comes Sebastian Vettel with 20 seconds left. Vettel goes 4th. 1:15.455. Albon goes 7th. Right, now we've got a playing field. Russell's looking good as well on his sector times. Raikkonen looking good. So is Lando Norris. And don't forget Ocon now in the drop zone. We've got 5 seconds left. Is Raikkonen going to get across the line in time? Raikkonen does get across the line. Lando Norris will be the first to take the checkered flag. He goes 4th fastest, secures his place in the next session. 1:15.444. And Carlos Sainz goes 3rd. 1:15.281. Giovinazzi 20th. Where will he start the race? Currently 18th. Behind Danny Kvyat. He's the driver at risk in 15th. Stays 15th. He's on the cusp of being dropped out. Here comes Esteban Ocon in the Renault. Next up, he's 16th. Can he kick out Danny Kvyat? Yes, he can. 9th place for Ocon. 1:15.719. Verstappen's now in danger. Here comes Latifi. He's 13th at the moment. Latifi doesn't improve. Pits. Magnussen 16th. He's out of qualifying. Ricciardo goes 12th. He's safe for another day. It's Grosjean and Raikkonen left. Hamilton goes 3rd. Verstappen might have to improve because Grosjean's on a good lap here. Grosjean could improve. Leclerc goes 12th. Another bad day for Ferrari if they can't get out of Q2 going forward. Here comes Verstappen, 15th at the moment. He's at risk of being cut out and rectifies that by going 8th to 1:15.495. Latifi on the cusp of the drop zone. Raikkonen's the only one left, and Raikkonen is pulled out. Magnussen, Kvyat, Grosjean, Giovinazzi and Raikkonen eliminated. But for the first time in quite a while, both Williamses have qualified for the second part of the session. It's with George Russell in 9th and Nicholas Latifi in 15th. It keeps getting better and better for Williams after the misery of last year, but Mercedes have got something to look at as it is Racing Point top with Perez and Stroll eliminated in Q1. Kevin Magnussen, Danny Kvyat, followed by Romain Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen.
Qualifying 2.
The green light is on, and the second part of qualifying gets underway here at the Hungaroring. George Russell heads out onto the track. The first time both Williamses have been in for quite a number of seasons. And this is where the battle lines begin. Who is going to blink first at Hungary? 2 minutes to go in qualifying 2. 15 drivers. The 10 go through. We lose the slowest 5. Rain clouds still in the air. They are just holding off at the moment. Hamilton, Bottas, Vettel, Verstappen, Norris, Sainz, Stroll, Perez, Gasly, Ricciardo is the current top 10. In the drop zone, or the elimination zone as being fancily called, is Leclerc, Russell, Albon, Ocon and Latifi. The 3 surprises there for me are Leclerc, Albon and Ocon. Everybody else I expect there, because the Williamses were quick to get into Q2, but they're not quite there for Q3 just yet. So I wonder what we're going to see from Leclerc. But then again, Leclerc qualified 11th last week for Ferrari, and the week before, Sebastian Vettel qualified 11th for Ferrari. So it's not really going their way at the moment. So can Leclerc get through? 1 minute 8 seconds left. The time's now beginning to come out. Norris heads out. Now they've got Perez out on the track, and they have managed to get Lance Stroll out onto the track with some fuel in. So they had a little issue with the weighbridge. Stroll couldn't restart the car on the ERS unit, the energy recovery system, so it had to be wheeled back, but they have managed to get new boots on it and some fuel in, and the car's good to go. So 43 seconds left. The times begin to come down now. I think everybody is out on the track. Yes, they are. All drivers out on the track. So all 15, because these track conditions changed dramatically at the end of qualifying 1. They don't want anybody to get suspicious. Pierre Gasly saying on the radio that car is done. He can't control it. During the break as well, he was told that they could not fix the power unit issue in this session. They'll just have to live and bear with it. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. 10 seconds left. Lando Norris for McLaren will be the first car to take the checkered flag. 3 seconds, 2, 1. Checkered flag out. Q2 has finished. Lando Norris, 5th fastest at the moment. Is he going to improve up the order? Goes 3rd, a 1:15.085. Perez next up. These two need to get through to the session of Q3 for Racing Point. Perez doesn't improve. Watch that. Sainz goes 6th, doesn't improve. Ricciardo P10. Does he improve up the order? No. Nobody's improving. Esteban Ocon, 14th. Can he get through and push out his teammate Ricciardo? No. He stays 14th. No one improving at the moment. Leclerc is fastest sector 2 for a personal best. Can he knock Ricciardo out and have a bad day for Renault? Yes, he can. Renault eliminated. Leclerc goes 3rd. Gasly now at risk as well. Watch out for Perez. Here comes Lance Stroll, 8th at the moment. He can just improve up and only improves to 7th ahead of Carlos Sainz. Russell, Albon and Latifi left. We're looking at Albon and Gasly, who could possibly push out Sergio Perez. Hamilton backs out. He's on a brand new set of softs, so use that for his first run. Bottas just behind as well as Verstappen. Albon's coming to the line now. He said it, it's a bad first and second sector. Verstappen goes 3rd. And I think Albon is going to be eliminated. Red Bull changed the suspension setup of the car, and it wasn't enough. 13th for Alexander Albon, eliminated from qualifying, and Nicholas Latifi comes into the pit lane. So, at the end of the second session, the big shock this week is that Red Bull have had a car eliminated, not Ferrari. It is the Renaults of Ricciardo, out and Ocon, but the full elimination order, and starting in these positions, 11th is Ricciardo, Russell is 12th, Albon 13th, Ocon 14th, and Nicholas Latifi is in 15th, eliminated. Going through to the top 10 shootout is Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, and Pierre Gasly.
Qualifying 3.
Q3 is underway for the final part here at the 2020 Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying. Lewis Hamilton, 6 poles at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Michael Schumacher holds the record at 7 at this event. Hamilton will go now to try and match the great man. The Hungarian Grand Prix has been won from pole position 15 times and won from the front row 22 times. 12 races here have only been won from 3rd or back. The lowest it's been ever won is 14th, and that was Jenson Button in 2006. So, this is it, the final part of qualifying. So here we go then. This is it, Q3, and the first times are about to come on the board. Lance Stroll out of the final corner. Sparks are flying on the magnesium skid blocks. It's a 1:14.671. The benchmark that Stroll set. Here comes Sebastian Vettel in second place now, 1:15.281. Hamilton is fastest in the first two sectors. Surely going to go quicker across the line, and does so with an absolute belter. 1:13.613. Hamilton to the top by over a second. Leclerc goes into fourth, a 1:15.575. Another track record for Hamilton. Bottas can only do a 1:13.9. So already he's got 0.3 of a second advantage as Hamilton. Pole number 7 around this place looks to be his. Fourth goes Lando Norris, 1:14.966. Perez goes fifth on a 1:15.088. Carlos Sainz, ninth at the moment across the board. Is he going to improve anything up the order? Coming to the line, fifth fastest ahead of Perez. Vettel and Leclerc, 1:15.027. Verstappen fourth, 1:14.849. And Gasly, I don't think we're going to see in this session, as he hasn't left the pit lane just yet. And Sergio Perez has had his lap time deleted for exceeding track limits at turn 4. That's going to really annoy Racing Point. So it's Hamilton and Bottas from Stroll, Verstappen, Norris, Sainz, Vettel, Leclerc, and no times on the board yet for Perez or Gasly. Vettel now into turn 13, loop it round the concrete corner, then into the hairpin of 14 to end the lap here at Hungary. Down now to the finish line, open up the DRS for the last time once the car's straight. Vettel does go fourth, 1:14.774, so already he's a little bit off the third sectors where we're losing time. Leclerc looking just as well. He's 0.9 off, 0.911 off the pace. And no, we're not calling the police in America. Round the outside now, the concrete hairpin turn. Oh, turn 13. You can see how oversteer that car is. It's flicking left, flicking right. Now, last corner. Open at the DRS now. And it's fifth for Leclerc, 1:14.817, not improving. As now the big boys come out. Hamilton, Bottas, here comes Carlos Sainz behind, and Lando Norris. They're heading out as well. 2 by 2 at the moment. And Verstappen is going out for another lap. So Maxi Verstappen is going for another lap. Here comes Lance Stroll, third at the moment. Can he improve anywhere up as Racing Point look to secure the front row? Well, he moves within a second. 1:14.377 now. Perez good, second sector. Perez fourth. 1:14.545, and they are happy at that at Racing Point. They seem to have locked out the second row of the grid. It's 2 by 2 at the moment with 2 minutes to go. Hamilton, Bottas, Mercedes front row. Row 2, Racing Point, Stroll, Perez. Ferrari, row 3, 5, 6. There's a little bit of drizzle on the track I'm hearing in my ear from Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton compromised by Vettel. And this is it. This is not his fast lap. So next lap will be the quick lap for Lewis Hamilton. As he backs up now, it's Charles Leclerc as well, not Vettel. So here we go. Hold on tight. The times are coming down. Hamilton's got 0.3 to Bottas at the moment. 1 minute 20 seconds left of qualifying. Hamilton to the line. This will be his last lap run. He will be the first to take the checkered flag. Downhill towards turn 1. 34.5 metres downhill. Now start the long climb. Turn 2 and 3. 1A, turn 2 and 2A. Keep it calm. Flick at turn 3. First sector point coming up. His own point, 26.934. And he's up, but only just. Hamilton could improve. Bottas just behind, 40 seconds left. And Norris 8th at the moment. Stroll's in the pit lane, so is Perez. They think they've done enough to secure the second row. And Vettel and Leclerc are not doing anything either. Verstappen could take third though. So right now, both Racing Points in the pit lane, both of the Ferraris in the pit lane, they've done their run. And Hamilton's up by 69 hundredths or thousandths in the middle sector. It's between the two Mercedes for pole position now. Racing Point have locked out the second row. Ferrari have locked out the third row. 5 seconds for Lewis Hamilton, going for a record 90th career pole, and does it on 1:13.447, and currently has 4 tenths to Bottas. Is it enough? Bottas comes to the line. This will be for pole position. Cross the line. Bottas stays second, a tenth off of Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton takes his 90th career pole and equals Michael Schumacher on 7 poles of the Hungaroring on 1:13.447 is the pole time. The question is, can Verstappen spoil Racing Point's second row? Can he do anything, or will he stay in 7th across the line and stay 7th? And with Norris in 8th, Sainz 9th, Racing Point lockout row 2, and Ferrari lockout row 3. It's Hamilton and Bottas, a Mercedes front row lockout. A 90th pole for him. Stroll and Perez 3rd and 4th, and Ferrari 5-6 with Vettel ahead of Leclerc. And there we go, Verstappen 7th, Norris 8th, Sainz 9th, and Gasly in 10th. Lewis Hamilton starts on pole position for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and starts on pole for the 90th time in his career. So the grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix: Lewis Hamilton on pole position with Valtteri Bottas alongside. Row 2 is an all Racing Point affair. Lance Stroll ahead of Sergio Perez. Row 3, well, that's Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc, Ferrari dominating. Max Verstappen starts 7th, but has an accident on the way to the grid, damaging the front wing and breaking the suspension. The mechanics only have 18 minutes to fix it. Can they get it done in time? Alongside him is Lando Norris, followed by Carlos Sainz on row 5 with Pierre Gasly alongside. The 6th row sees Danny Ricciardo alongside George Russell, his highest ever qualifying once again. Clap, clap for him. Alexander Albon 13th, Esteban Ocon 14th, Nicholas Latifi 15th, Kevin Magnussen 16th, Danny Kvyat 17th, Romain Grosjean 18th, Antonio Giovinazzi starts 19th, and 20th is Kimi Raikkonen. The Hungarian Grand Prix in mixed conditions, rain all the way in the build-up. What's the start going to be like? Your commentators for the Hungarian Grand Prix highlights are Joshua Birch and Ian Birch.
Round 3, the Hungarian Grand Prix.
This is going to be an interesting one. So, 70 laps ahead of us for round number 3 of the Formula 1 World Championship at Hungary. And into the pit lane is coming quite a few cars. Both the Hasses are coming in. Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. Latifi is lining up at the back of the grid. And Gasly, I think, has been told to stay on the track. He's lining up on the grid as well. He has not come down pit road. Hamilton saying his engine's going to stall. We're in mixed conditions. The red lights are coming on. What's going to happen in round 3? We're about to find out. Action at Budapest. Good ginger start from Hamilton. Leclerc pulls out, and a fantastic start if he names Lando Norris, who pulls down towards turn 1. Ferrari's immediately up into 3rd place. And where's Hamilton? Hamilton's been left, or is it Bottas? Bottas been left to the start line. There's contact already. Alan, that's Max Verstappen. He had a broken wishbone 5 minutes ago. He's going wheel to wheel with Sebastian Vettel down to turn 2. Bottas left to the back. He's the championship leader. Hamilton leads from Stroll, Verstappen, Vettel, Leclerc, the top 5, and it's all treachery and gingery away. Dad,
we've also got a jump start. Maybe a jump start for I know he's very good at the starts, but Bottas, I think, jumped the start.
It would make sense because he did lose positions quite quickly as soon as the race started. But wow, Hamilton leads, Stroll 2nd, Verstappen 3rd, Vettel 4th.
I want to see a replay.
Bottas.
I want to see a replay because of the fact that what I think he did was, I think he accidentally released the clutch a bit and moved a bit. Whether or not he moved a full circle or even a few inches, right? I think that's why he got a bad start, because he had already released his clutch once.
And that must have held up Sergio Perez as he's dropping back. Everyone trying to find water to desperately dry to get water onto their tyres and give them a bit more life. Nobody coming in.
One of the pink Mercedes actually
lost positions.
One of the Ferraris.
Oh my word!
Didn't he?
I think, that's Perez.
Coming together wheel to wheel, between, I think it was Leclerc.
Hamilton has got away clearly at the front. 3 seconds already to Lance Stroll. Danny Kvyat's coming to the pit lane, so he's changing tyres this lap, I believe, because he's only saying he's going down the order. He's in the pit lane now. And look at that already. Everyone trying to dart left and right off the racing line to try and get some water desperately onto their tyres. Meanwhile, Esteban Ocon battling with Georgie Russell. Russell trying to go around it, but that's Ocon making the move for 15th. Russell looking to come back around the outside. Little bit of double water, but so far nothing bad at the moment. So, Kvyat pits. He's been 4 seconds. Let's have a look at the start, Dad. Watch Bottas. He did! You're right! Bottas jumped the start. Bottas jumped the start. And then he immediately stopped. And that caught out Sergio Perez because he went as well. Yeah. So Bottas jumped the start. He got swamped. There's the spray. Vettel on the inside.
Ferraris and
yeah, it's right at the back.
Yeah, there it is.
It's Perez and Leclerc.
Avoiding action and with Leclerc. They never actually hit.
Yeah, look.
On the onboard up above camera.
Bottas got very lucky there.
The onboard now with Valtteri.
He locked up, didn't he, at the start? He pulled the clutch and away.
He was in the wrong mode because of it, wasn't he?
20 minutes, wet weather. This could be going well. If he wins today, that'll be something to say about it going forward. Hamilton, oh, look at that wide line he's having to take just to get some heat into the tyres and get some temperature because they're all going to go cold. Pitting now is Lance Stroll. So, and Hamilton pits, and Verstappen stays out. Now, that's an interesting call. Medium's going on for Hamilton, so away.
Bottas has been in already. It was expected for him, wouldn't it? I would expect him. And
I would expect him, but not so soon. Vettel in, and Stroll in as well.
And Stroll in as well.
Good start. Ricciardo up to second place. Ricciardo now second. He started the race, I believe, in 11th place. He did. So he's moving up the order. Everyone's starting to come in. The pit lane getting very busy now.
9.2 for Vettel. 9.2
yes.
For the stop for Vettel.
What happened there? There was something wrong. We didn't see it.
He couldn't find a gap to be released into.
Unbelievable. So already they're having a problem holding off, and there comes already the two Haas cars, and that is a Haas car. So what's that car in front?
The Haas cars
it's an Alpha.
Their tyres
it's Alpha.
before the start of the race.
We've got a yellow sector 1. Verstappen's been told to box. We've got someone off the track though. We've got a yellow. I can't see who it is, so I can't say. The timing monster's gone down in the box. So there's a yellow somewhere on the track.
It's green again.
Yeah, they've probably skipped across somewhere on the AstroTurf. Verstappen leads the way from Ricciardo. Ocon now into third place. Already drama on the opening laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix replay. And this is why it took so long, Dad. So look at this. Cars coming in. You're right. Tyres changed over. And then when do you release? Because they've got cars coming down the Red Bull.
4 cars coming down the pit lane.
One with the broken wing. Looks like there we go. That took so long, and that hurt Vettel a lot. And look at this drama at turn 1. 3 cars going abreast, and one of the Williams is spinning round as well. I believe that's Nicholas Latifi. It is, and he's got a puncher.
Got a real puncher.
That's coming out of the pit lane, so that's even more worse. And McLaren aren't ready now.
Williams, Latifi has a rear wheel puncher, if that's Latifi.
Hamilton, yes it is, because he's dropped down to the back of the field. Russell's still up there.
Rear left.
Yeah, Russell's in 7th, and he's just coming into the pit lane now. Yellow sector 2. And look, you can see Latifi slowing at turn 6, 7 and 8.
Latifi.
Yeah, it is.
Now he's back on. He's trying to limp back.
And he's not going that well either. He's going to have to pit soon. Hamilton retakes the lead from Verstappen in 2nd. Magnussen now 3rd. The timing screen's lighting up. Ocon, Norris, Russell, Giovinazzi all in the pit lane. And now Bottas has got loads of cars in front. And this race in 5 laps has changed dramatically. Forget the starting grid. You may as well rip it up and just use the timings. Dad.
What a great bit of intuition.
From Kevin Magnussen, was it, or who?
And from Magnussen and Grosjean pit. They both pitted for the medium tyre before the start on the formation lap.
That is a genius move. They were
and now they're in 3rd and 4th. Whether or not they can keep that, I don't know.
I can't see why not. There's the puncher for that is Latifi, as we said. He's limping back, but he's going to be shredding the floor. He's got to be careful there because that carcass will rip away. And you're right, a master stroke from Haas. They started Magnussen on the full wets originally. Grosjean was on the intermediates, and now they have swapped them back over. So just before the start of the race, they started from the pit lane.
They entered the pit lane instead of.
So one of the racing points was off there. I think that was Lance Stroll.
Race control.
Sainz and Latifi noted. Instant in the pit lane. I didn't know that was the exit of the pit lane. That caused Latifi's puncture. And Latifi now's a lap down.
Latifi's in.
He's a lap down now, though. Bottas up the inside of Leclerc for 6th place. And gets the move, overcooks it. Here comes Leclerc back. And Leclerc gets him. But Bottas has the inside line. And he has the DRS. Through the spray, though. Get that one stop, sunshine. Leclerc knows it. Bottas off the track. And a masterstroke from Leclerc there to recognise what was happening. Here comes Bottas. This is on Leclerc again. And this time he gets through. Breaks a bit too late. Leclerc's going to try and do the cutback once again. I don't think he can this time, Dad. I think this is Bottas's, and it is. 6th place.
I think you can clearly also see that the Red Bulls, now the track is drying out, are finding the grip that they had in the first Austrian race.
Oh, engine failure. Pierre Gasly. Well, that's a brand new power unit they installed without any penalty after failures in qualifying yesterday. And now the smoke is billowing out the back. And it's the light's gone orange. He can't touch it, Dad. So already he's out of the race. Oh, Albon launches on the inside this time on Charles Leclerc. He got a long way back, and it's a nice, tasty move from the Red Bull for 7th place. Ferrari dropping down the order. Leclerc's got an issue, I think, Dad, because look how easily Vettel was there to capitalise.
The interesting thing is there's no team orders there because Vettel immediately tried to take advantage and go through as well.
Yeah.
Right? There is a serious grip problem also with Leclerc.
And
Albon.
This is a replay down to the inside at turn 1. Late on the brakes, nearly made contact. It's a nice wide entrance to turn 1. You can take it a lot more. Dad, I've just had a message through from the race control. Rain predicted in 5 minutes. Leclerc's a sitting duck now.
There we go. Vettel absolutely eager to get past Leclerc.
Well, these two took each other out last week.
Do you reckon that Leclerc has touched someone?
I think so.
Because his front left doesn't look exactly in
No, he's on softs. He's on softs as well, remember, as well. Vettel this time breezes round the outside, gets through on Charles Leclerc, and unlike last week in Styria, they don't make contact. As Leclerc tried to have a little moment there to get past Lando Norris, but decided he had to back out of it. Otherwise, there'd been contact, but he's on the grass, trying to get past Lando Norris. Norris holds him round the outside line, and Lando's going to have the position here. They nearly touch! Leclerc oversteering like mad on the damp parts of the track, and nearly wipes out him and Lando.
I'm sorry, but that was just an example of what I was saying about in the first race, right? Leclerc has this... When you're passing him, he does this little shimmy with his steering wheel.
There you go.
He's got an onboard here. Watch this.
You're right. There's the shimmy, and there it is again.
There it is again.
And again.
Right.
Just to flush you out.
Now, was that lack of grip? Because the second one looked too much.
The second one, I think, was lack of grip. I think what happened was he tried to do it once and then realised, oh dear, the track is wetter than I thought it was, and nearly hit the side of him.
It's clearly a tactic Leclerc uses when someone's trying to pass him.
Used it in Austria last week and took out Sebastian Vettel, his own teammate, and that created ripples in the Ferrari. They had a long debrief at Maranello in between races.
Even in the pen, he realised that you can't go 200 miles an hour into a cul-de-sac.
He might go 200 miles an hour into a hairpin, though, because he's right on the back at Norris again. Here we go, round 2, ding ding, round the outside this time. Leclerc's going to try. Norris will hold the inside line. When he's going to do the cutback, I think Lando's got him back. He's still there. Good boy, Lando. But Leclerc will have the inside line into turn 3, up the hill to turn 4. I think he's done the move there. I think the Ferrari's got the position. We got a yellow. Sorry, Dad, to cut you off. Oh!
Yeah, it's the...
Nicholas Latifi's had a big spin there.
Latifi, again.
How's he done that? It looks like he skidded across the track.
It looks okay, though. So
he's back on,
He's just spun his tyres.
How did he do that?
And he can go in for a 4th time.
Yeah, 4 times, 4 pit stops for him. If he wins this race, he'll do a button. Let's just say this. Do you remember last year? It was Verstappen leading with bad tyres, and Hamilton pitted and got back on the last 3 laps. It's roles reversed this year in Hungary because it looks.
I think he'll hold out to lap 60, 62, and then he'll change them.
But is Verstappen on much fresher tyres going to have the advantage to him? Because
what we've got to realise is the gap that's needed to get him in and out in front is slowing. It's getting shorter.
22 seconds. Hamilton's turned it up to 11, we're being told. So he has got the pace and the advantage. So that's something.
I would pit him now and take the chance.
Yeah, I agree. Because that will only be 10 laps. 14 at best. 14
laps.
Do it. Pit him. Give him a fresh set of tyres, because it's just going to get worse. They know what happened last year. Or maybe Bottas... Sorry, I'm going to hold my punches there, because that's Albon being lapped. So, Hamilton has lapped the top... everything but the top 5. It's one of those days, isn't it? It's one of those days. And it's all caused by that yellow. All caused by that yellow flag.
But Hamilton has just lapped Albon, but his teammate is only 20-odd seconds behind.
And Lewis Hamilton, Dad, is taking the hard tyres. Hamilton is going to pit. He will have a 3-second advantage to Verstappen. It's a fight to the end, and Leclerc's getting out of the way of Bottas. Wow! Ding dong! Chess match! Rodeo style! Axe throwing in Hungary! Everything!
And what lap did I say?
62.
62. What lap's coming up?
62.
62.
Are you sure you're not ahead of me, by any way? It's softs. I was right, Dad. They gave him the hards earlier on in the race. They've got none left. They're giving him they're giving him an old set of softs. He's got 3 of them. Presumably, they're going back in. He's still not happy. He is still not happy, is he? He's gone round again. He's gone round again to start lap 64. He's going to go to the end, isn't he? He's going to go to the end.
I think he is.
He doesn't want to put those softs on because they'll go down quicker. Yeah, they're switching to the softs, and I can tell you exactly what they are. These are the soft tyres that did 1 lap, that did the aborted lap in qualifying yesterday in Q2 when he didn't need to do it. So remember, in Q2, you didn't see it, but I'll just tell you for the fans. In Q2, the weather changed dramatically, and the rain came down. Hamilton and Bottas set their times on the medium compound tyre to get that advantage, and then they went out again on brand new soft compounds to keep that gap. They went round very slowly on an out lap, then they pushed for a quick lap, and at the last corner Hamilton was told to back off, and he crawled across the line. So those tyres that are about to be put on did 1 lap in Q2 and are the soft compound tyres. They're the fresher ones. They've got about 90% life in them. But the problem is, with this track, you can't get them up to temperature quickly enough. We've seen that all weekend. We've seen exactly what the problem is. So Hamilton didn't want to put them on. He wanted to go to the end, and now he's got to go to the end on a set of softs. Verstappen's going to have him, I can tell. Leclerc on the radio, the balance is all over the place, and I'm oversteering in every part of the track. So yeah, he's not happy either. And he's on soft tyres as well. The soft tyre's not the way to go. He might just be able to hold it, but I'll tell you what, Verstappen's going to be right with him. I can tell. This is super, super close. Lewis Hamilton into the pit lane on lap 66. He's going to start lap 67 in the pit lane. Mercedes are going to change him over to the soft compound tyre, and this tyre did 1 lap in Q2 on an aborted run, and it was slow at the back. It was slow at the back, 3.6 seconds. Is it enough though? Is it enough?
It is just enough.
That's going to be so close.
2-second gap.
That's Albon. Don't worry. That's Vettel and Albon going past.
No, it's Albon, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, he's got about 2-3 second gap.
What was the gap at the line, though? Oh, yeah, you're right. 2-3 seconds.
He's got to get
6.604 seconds. It's go now.
He's got to get these up to
temperature,
speed.
yeah. And Albon's just passed Vettel for 5th. Lewis Hamilton exits the last corner, equals Michael Schumacher, and takes 8 victories at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it is a dominant victory. Max Verstappen finishes in 2nd place, and Bottas Bottas finishes third, and to rub salt in the wound of his two competitors, Hamilton sets a new lap record and gets the fastest lap bonus point of 1:16.627. Stroll finishes fourth, Albon rounds out the top five, then it's Vettel, Perez, Ricciardo, Magnussen, and Carlos Sainz gets some points from McLaren. Leclerc 11th from Kvyat, Norris, Ocon, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Russell and Latifi.
Next race, Silverstone.
An exciting race, not exactly Austria or Styria, something a bit different. The start was certainly magical. Did Bottas jump the start? Well, looking forward, he actually timed it perfectly to the lights going out, but he reacted to 3 lights going out on his dash rather than the start. If that happened a split second later, he would have been okay. Fastest lap of the race went to Lewis Hamilton. He gets the extra bonus point. The pit stop went to Red Bull. The driver of the day is Max Verstappen, and I completely agree with that. A round of applause to all the Red Bull guys who managed to get his car fixed in time. Lewis Hamilton wins, though, the Hungarian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is second, Valtteri Bottas third, Lance Stroll fourth, Alexander Albon rounds out the top 5, Sebastian Vettel sixth, and also a lap down from now on. Sergio Perez 7th, Daniel Ricciardo 8th, Carlos Sainz 9th, and Kevin Magnussen finally scores a point for Haas, putting them into 10th place. Out of the points, well, bad weekend for Charles Leclerc once again after a good qualifying compared to the previous 3 races. Then we get Danny Kvyat, Lando Norris, he slipped back. A lot of problems in the race for him. Esteban Ocon, Kimi Raikkonen, Romain Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi, George Russell, Nicholas Latifi and Pierre Gasly. Now, in the actual results, it was a double point score for Grosjean and Magnussen, but a 5-second time penalty was added to both of them for pitting on the formation lap to change to intermediate tyres. That is, of course, a rule not allowed. They were giving instructions on the formation lap. Everyone's saying that's a bit harsh, but these are the rules, unfortunately. Racing Point have had their results protested again by Renault. That's all to be decided before the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, hopefully. They've got their results protested, so we'll have to wait for confirmation. We'll let you know in the Thursday preview for the British Grand Prix if we know by then. Bad day for Pierre Gasly. He already has started from the back of the grid. He did change his power unit again overnight after problems in qualifying. It's failed again in the race. Expect more penalties for them going forward into Silverstone. But in terms of the Drivers' Championship going into the British Grand Prix, well, you can't be any different, can you? Lewis Hamilton tops the board, 63 points to his name. Valtteri Bottas goes in for the first time this year to Silverstone as the challenger, because we've got Lewis Hamilton leading the title. Bottas is on 58 points. Max Verstappen is on 33 points. His race number, ironically enough. Great recovery after the dreadful start in Austria a couple of weeks back, but he's still 30 points away from Lewis Hamilton. But as Toto Wolff said, that's absolutely nothing. Lando Norris is holding on to 4th place, 26 points to his name. Albon is on 22. Perez has 22 as well, the same. It's Charles Leclerc and Lance Stroll on 18 apiece. Carlos Sainz 15. Sebastian Vettel now rounds up the top 10. He has 9 points. Daniel Ricciardo 11th, he's got 8 points as well. And then we get Pierre Gasly on 6, Esteban Ocon 4, 2 for Antonio Giovinazzi and 1 apiece for Daniel Kvyat and Kevin Magnussen. No points on the board yet for Kimi Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi, Romain Grosjean or George Russell. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes lead the way by quite a margin, well over 50 points, 121 points to them. Red Bull now take over second in the Constructors' Championship. They're on 55. But it's the battle between McLaren and Racing Point that's getting interesting. McLaren on 41 points, Racing Point on 40. Ferrari now officially a midfield team so far. They're 5th, halfway in the Constructors' Championship. They only have 27 points. Renault have 12 in 6th. AlphaTauri have 7 points and are in 7th. 2 points for Alfa Romeo. They're in 8th place. Haas now get 9th. They're still on 1. And still no points on the board for Williams. They are down in 10th place. We are live from Watch Along at Silverstone. From our UK studio, we are live all weekend for the British Grand Prix. Friday practice, Saturday practice, Sunday qualifying as well. We are all live. We cannot wait to bring you watch-along commentary for the British Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. On the 31st to the 2nd So the 31st of July, the 2nd of August. No fans in attendance, but it's live on Channel 4, it's live on Sky F1, and for the first time it's live here on the YouTube channel with a watch-along commentary. So tune into the TV and put us on in the background to have a catch-up with on a Sunday afternoon. Boy, is it good to be back. Formula 1 now takes a week break before we start the triple headers again. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time with the British Grand Prix. From us all here, bye for now.